All right. Uh, Welcome everyone to another SD skill session. This is the algorithm session where we discuss about different algorithm or data structure. So last week we discussed about union find. Probably some of you were present last week, but I'll quickly recap, uh, and we can quickly go through the code of union find. Because we will be discussing few problem today, and lot of, or let's say that most of this problem will require union find code. So the union find code is again, this is one of the code where you want to learn the code like I mean, you want to learn the theory and understand how you arrive at code, and that we have done in last session. That session will be posted on YouTube in a couple of weeks. But like another sorting and searching algorithm, or a few tree and graph related algorithm, this is another data structure where you should fairly compatible coding it up quickly, because this particular data structure is not available in any library out of the box, right? So if any question require you to solve using union find, then uh, you have to write that code, because uh, most of this question involve writing the Indian find, because there's nothing else. The code, once you have Indian find code available, the other code is very simple. We will go through some examples. So uh, uh, even though you assume that you have a Indian find data structure and you use that code, you might be asked to write or explain how the Indian find works. Okay. So let me open the notepad, and so are you guys seeing? Okay, I'm not sharing the screen, right? Let me.
Not seen.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sharing a screen yet. Okay, are you seeing my notepad now?
Yes, yes, visible, visible.
Okay, thank you. Right. So union find class, basically it's a data structure where it's not algorithm, right? It's a data structure. So we will start with the class, and the, in, the class will take the size of your data structure, right? For example, if you want to write a queue, let's say that it takes the size, how big is your queue. Similar way, union find also take size. Okay? And there are a few things that we basically track, right, in union find. One is how many connected components are there, right? So that is count. Okay. Also, we maintain the parents of each component, so that we track in the root. And also we maintain the maybe I wrote wrong. And we also uh, we are doing Indian find, and we have done some optimization. So for that optimization we track size as well. Last time we had a question, and I think I forgot to tell important things at the end. Basically, there are two way to uh, optimize algorithm, and there is a uh, uh, a weighted, right? A weighted union find, and there are two way to calculate the weight. One is the height, and one is a depth of the tree. Both actually essentially yield in the same result, uh, or same efficiency for this algorithm, but we choose one over another, and we will go through that today. Why? So, okay. So these are the three things that I want to define at the class level. Okay. And basically, whatever size is given, right? I want to initialize a size with that. So that many components are there in the beginning, right? And a new tree. size. Size. If you have a quick question, please ask me. If you are very new to Union Find, just follow the code and assume that it works because we can't go through all the theory again. But I would share resources that I have shared already in the channel. You can go through those resources to understand it again in more detail. So what we are doing is that basically, initially, each component's parent is itself, right? And so here, basically, we are assigning a root of I to I. That means everybody is connected to itself. Also, uh, i- since there are only one component in a group, that is itself, we are initializing size with one. So each group is a size one, right? Now, there are a few functions, right? We discuss about that. So I will write it down, public union. So this basically will return the how many connected components are there at any given time in our data structure, right? Uh, we might not have discussed our track count last time when we discussed, but whatever problem we are going to solve, we need that count, and it is very easy to keep track of it. So we'll put it here. And one, there are two main methods, right, for union find, right? One is a connected and one is a union. So connected method is basically take to integer and return true if both are connected, and that is very simple, right? We said that return find of p equal to find of q, and so what is find? So find basically the way we maintain union find, right?
Ramesh, for
Yes.
the count method, I think it's return count there.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, thank you for correction. Just keep doing that. I might make some mistake in typing. Okay, thank you. Right. So we have to give parents of any given point, right? Now, what is a parent, right? Let me see. So in a union find, right? Let me get some example. Yeah, this is a good example, right? So this ID array is basically the root what we have written, right? And initially each root is its parent. That is what we initialize with. But as we call the union, let's say that in this case we call union of 9 and 2, then
Mhm.
parents of 9 and 2 are changed, and basically both 9 and 2 both point to the same parents, right? And
Ramesh,
later
are
on
you
probably
sharing it? Sorry, are you sharing an example? We cannot see.
I see. Okay, so let me share my whole screen then. Uh, share and are you guys seeing now?
Yeah, yeah. Now we are
Okay,
seeing it.
okay, all right. So this is the example I was talking about. Okay, so basically ID array is nothing but that is the size array, right? Where not sorry, root array, what we have written, where we maintain its parent, right? Initially, all the index are parent themselves, right? And those are the component. But as we keep calling and connecting, different component in this example, basically 2, 4, 3, and 9 are connected, and 6 and 5 are connected, right? So uh, if you visualize this as a tree, this is how it looks like, but it is not actually tree. It is simple array. How it is, how this become tree is that basically 2's parent is 9, right? And 4's basically we see that at the index 4, what is the index that is stored here. So 4 is the index 9. Both are not same. So basically we go at the 9, and at the place where the index and the value that is stored are same, that means that is the root for this group, right? So everything in this group, that is 2, 4, 9, and 3 end up at 9. So 2 and 4 are directly, they have parent 9, but 3 is a, if you check the index 3 is root is 4. So then what we do is that we go at the 4, and 4's root is 9, and then we go at the index 9, and then we check that, okay, index 9 is the 9, so that is the root, right? So that is what we want to code in a find method, basically. Given a 3, how to reach 9, given a 5, how to reach 6, right? So our find method will be like, if root of p is not equal to p, right? Till we found the element that is till we find index where the value stored at this index is same as index. Basically, we keep going, and so what we do is that root of p equal to find root of p. Right? So now again, this sentence again doing the path compression. Okay, and this is the another important technique that we discussed, where because of this path compression with the size what we are maintaining, we will see how we are using it. With the combination of these two, for all practical purpose, this algorithm works in O of 1 complexity.
Bhavik, I have a question here. So root of I is equal to -1, right? Initially,
Uh,
otherwise,
it is not -1, it is I.
otherwise we are getting confused whether root of I is itself, in case if you are initialized like that. Am I right? Let's say zero equal to root array of 0 equal to 0, you initialize like that.
Right.
We may confuse like whether it has come through the code or it has come through initialization. Am I clear in my question?
So
Sorry.
I think so. What you're telling is that this is, let's say this is array, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And okay,
Yeah.
not 8, basically 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so those are the index, and those are the value that is stored, right?
Correct. Correct.
Let's say that this is index, and this is values.
Yeah.
So initially, basically, what we are saying is that uh, all the elements are connected to itself. Okay. So if we say that how many components are there in my this union find data structure with the size 8 are 8, basically. Okay. So everyone is one component, each element, and they are connected to themselves, right? That is the beginning of this data structure. So
Okay.
now you have a question saying that I don't know whether it comes in the beginning or it, when we call connected. So what was the question? Can you, if you
So
can
my
paraphrase
question is like
on this?
whether it comes from the beginning of the initialization, or if you run the algorithm, the find will choose the parents, right? So
I
it
see.
comes from there.
Uh, yeah, it doesn't matter. So find will basically change the parent doing the path compression, but uh, initially it comes from the beginning, and then let me write the another method also, right? Union, and
Yes.
it might change in that method, union method. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So another important method we do in union find is basically connect to component, right? So basically we find the root of P, right, is equal to find and P. And then I find the root of Q Now, if both are connected, then I don't want to do anything, right? There's no change required. So that is a simple condition I am putting. If root of P equal to root of Q, I'm saying that I don't want to do anything, just simply return. Right? If not, then I want to compare the size of those, right? Initially, all size are 1. So what I want to do is that if I am making a 1 as a child of another, then that can be a tree, right? Basically, if we go to sample, here, let's say that I am making 5 as a child of 3, right? So the tree that is root of 3 is this tree, right? Where the total there are 4 elements, and then another tree which is rooted at 6 has total 2 components. So in this case, instead of making 3 as a parent of yes, so instead of us making 6 as a child of instead of making a 9 as a child of 5, I'm going to make a 6 as a child of 3, because that has a smaller number of components, right? And that will basically, give a log n kind of complexity, where always it will basically, it's not a tree, right? It's not a binary tree, but most of the time it will be balanced if we follow that approach, right? That's called weighted union find. So here I want to compare the size that we are tracking. So if size at element P is less than size at element Q.
So should we not take the size of the root P in this case, or
Size of the root P.
So if P is smaller,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
just want to
correct,
swap
correct,
the
correct.
values.
yeah?
No.
Size of root
I-
P, root P.
Yeah. Thank you. That is correct. Yeah, we want to check the size, right? So in this case, basically, since P is smaller, I'm going to change the, I'm going to change its root. So root of root P, right, equal to root Q. And basically, since we are changing the uh, uh, root of root equal to root Q, right? So size
Size
of
Q plus equal to size root P.
root Q, right?
Root Q. Yes. It will be plus equal to smaller T.
Plus equal to, yeah, size of root P. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Correct? Yeah. Good. Else basically I'm doing other way around, right? In this case, if it is equal or greater, then I'm doing other way around, where I am saying that root of root Q is equal to root P, and the size of root P plus equal to, okay, and this is all the code that it takes. Okay, so we should be able to write this code and understand its theory. So I think you don't have to remember it, right? Uh, I could write this code now anytime since I have presented this couple of times, and I think it is easy to remember if you go through how theory about how we arrive this code. Right? It is super simple, super efficient, and it will work for all of the union find problem. And we go through some example today, right? Does anyone have any question with this code?
If we're in a hurry, we can just implement only path compression or even nothing, right?
Say
just
that again. If
mention
there is
it.
no hurry.
If there is a hurry, we can just do it in brute force and just mention rank and path compression.
Yeah. Yes. Just you are saying that if there's a hurry, I'm not gonna do this.
Yes, return root P and direct over your
You are going to do this equal to find root P and keep doing this. And then
mainly the rank operation, size operation, no size. You like not keep a size in our DSV class.
Oh, not even size also. Yeah, that is also fine. Yeah. But yeah, so if you are doing a question on some of the platform, okay, where it required you to implement this with efficiency, then you might want to do one of this or both of this, since it doesn't take much code, right? If you see
Oh yes,
size,
yes, actually.
this is the biggest code, but this is
yes,
very
yes.
simple. The
Yeah.
path
Correct,
compression is nothing,
Yeah, because some
but-
of the test cases on lead code will take some time, right? So we'll have to
Yes.
implement this efficiently. Yeah.
Yes. So yes, that's why I'm saying that if it is that platform has some test case, then you want to implement this whole code. Otherwise, you can start with the very simple code that we have done last time. And that should for concept or discussion, that the simple code is fine. But yes, for
What is the code
implementation.
actually, like instead of size, what you are planning to do? I'm sorry, like in case it is already discussed, we can skip.
If we do without size, we'll just directly write root Q, root Q equal to root P. We won't care
Yeah.
about anything. We'll directly just set the root. But actually, size also comes helpful in some problems to return the size of a component.
Yeah, if I want to do that, then basically I will do this. Okay, find and find.
I think it would be root of root P, not P, because
That's
all
correct.
the
That's
elements in it.
Is anybody talking? I cannot hear anyone.
Yeah, we are
Yes,
discussing.
we all are talking, but you can't hear. Then probably can somebody type?
Yeah, she'll have to log out and log in again, right?
Okay, can someone type?
Yeah.
So this would be the simple implementation. Okay, if I don't want to do that, then it will end here. If I am not taking size, this commented code. Okay. Let me just, is this condition correct? So I am making
Yeah, on line
P,
42, you have something remaining, right? Yeah.
Condition's fine, I guess, because we are taking the smaller tree and we are adding the size of smaller to bigger and connecting it also.
so
Parent of
I am
smaller.
so I am changing the P, I am making child of Q. So Q size, okay. I think it is correct.
Yeah, but on
It's
line
correct, it's
42, you
correct.
have to say size of root P plus equal to size of root Q.
Oh yeah.
That's only small thing.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, size of root Q, not root.
Yeah. So size, as we see, right? Size, if you are trying to implement size, you have to be a little bit careful. Okay. So that's a good idea. If there is no test case, go ahead without size. Okay. Maybe just do path compression and it is fine, because otherwise you have to be very careful that you are not missing anything, right?
Yes. And also if it's not time and just the question needs size, so we can skip the if else and always do one of the blocks.
Makes
Hmm.
sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other question for this before we jump into some examples?
So Bhavik, like line number 32, that is enough. Like in case if you do it, so we find root P and root Q, like in another up. So
So
without
you are
size.
saying, so if you are not tracking size, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is enough. I think this should.
Even
Okay,
if we
you
are
are-
tracking size, we can just paste line 38 below it and it will still work. If we just don't consider the if statements. If statements are making the optimal connection, but we can just do unoptimal also and track size and union at the same time.
Union by rank is also size only, right? By chance. It's different.
Yes. Rank could be size or depth of tree. For
Yeah.
depth, we just make it plus equal to 1 instead of size.
So okay, so, that's a very good things come up, right? So Okay, can anybody imagine or think like why we choose size instead of the depth of the tree?
I just think because in many problems it's helpful for the problem itself, how many inside a component.
No, you see, okay. So if we either basically no, what I'm saying is that size is can be number of element or it can be depth, right?
Yes, yes,
And we choose the number of elements in this case,
right.
and not the depth.
It's easier to code also since we don't have to check whether the height difference is equal and all.
Well, if yes, but
Also,
we have
then
to.
we don't have to move a lot of elements because if it's just like if each level has one element, then I just have to move that topmost and the tree will follow. Like if I have to
No,
change the parent.
I think that will be same in both cases, right? So let me take this example, right?
I think because of path compression, it will not make a difference here. But otherwise, size could make it a linear tree as well.
Both will, by the way, both will make linear tree. Okay.
Okay.
If we do path compression with the size, so size can be, let's say, the number of element, or size can be what is that? Size can be
Depth,
tree
depth.
depth, right? Depth of this tree. Both result in the same thing. So okay, let's say that practically, right? What would happen? Okay, so if I do the size, right? When I make one as a child of another, right? The simple thing we do is that I will just add the size, right? Size of the old root, and whichever is one I'm making as a child, I will add its size. Is that correct? Now, imagine if we have to, do similar thing, and now we have to maintain the depth of the tree, right? So what we have to do is that first we have to know what is the depth, right? Depth of this current root, current tree, whichever we are making child, and depth of this, right? And that is known because we are tracking. But when we do the path compression, the depth will keep changing, right? So you compress one path. Is that correct? So let's say
Oh,
that you compress one path. So let me show you the example where we compress the one path, right? Okay, yeah, this is the example, right? So this is the example, okay, where we start with 9. And after final compression, this is how the tree looks like, right? So when in the beginning, when 9 was children of 6, the height was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 6 is the if you are suppose tracking depth, right? 6 was the size. Now at the end, at the 9, if you consider that the depth is actually 2 only, right? Now to to maintain the depth, what we have to do is that we have to basically go through the whole tree and then find out the maximum depth, right? You don't know which of our child is going to give you the maximum depth, because we want to track the max depth. So in this case, basically, after you do the path compression, you go and check the depth of each tree, right? That is the simplest implementation. Other implementation is that whenever you do the path compression, you basically keep updating the depth at each component, right? Each node.
okay.
So the implementation, if you want to track depth, is very complex, and it is unnecessary complex basically, because at the end you get the same result. And that is why we always prefer in weighted union we always prefer number of elements rather than depth. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yes, makes sense.
All right.
Thanks.
So any other question? Let me see chat. Anything there in the chat that I need to? Okay. Okay, so let's if you don't have any question, then let's use this implementation, right? And look at a few questions. Okay, so this is the code that I'm not going to keep rewriting, but keep using it. Okay, so we'll see how we can utilize this code to answer some of the questions.
Bhavesh, in this code, we are doing that size maintaining static, right? In this implementation. So in what about dynamic type of environment? Means when node are keep on increasing.
What do you mean by static?
Starting means here we do, whenever define this structure, we
Mhm,
define the n size of this structure, right?
Oh, I see. Okay.
So in
So
this
you are
case,
saying that, yeah.
so suppose graph type of question, right? This
Mhm.
this thing keep on expanding this union elements. So how to handle that type of case?
So, you can do it. It will become little bit complex. For example, see, the whole notion of this is we are saying that uh, 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 each node starting from 0 and goes up to n, right?
Yeah,
Okay, now we are saying that I don't know the n,
yeah, right.
right? So you can start with dynamic array, right? Uh, kind of, where you can resize, right? I think Java has something, C# also have something,
Yes,
but I know
yes.
that C++
Vector
have
in C++.
a vector, right? Yeah, and Java has dynamic array, right?
Right,
Now
right.
you have to be very careful, right? Now you know that my current size is, let's say, 4. Now somebody saying that 9. You want to connect to 9. Now you know that I have seen up to 4 now. Now there's nothing 9. So you backfill and say that let me recreate everything from 6, 7, 8, 9, and then connect 9 to something else, right?
Also, one
So
suggestion for online judge, we can just figure out n from the constraints
yeah.
and keep it 10 raised to 9 or whatever. And we can
Mhm.
also use a hash map sometimes instead of an array. So then we don't have to worry about size.
Yeah, but I know that most of the graph question, the n is known beforehand. Only few graph question it might not be known. Okay,
Yes, yes.
we might have some of that question. We'll see, but most of the time it is known.
Yeah.
So we should be easy to use that.
Yes.
Otherwise, you can still write the code, but it will be a little bit complex because whenever you are basically doing union, you have to make sure that this both are in your range. If anyone is not in your range, basically, the only thing you do is that you expand that range, right?
Mhm.
And in basically in see, in all of our call, if you see that basically connected and union, we use find. So basically this is where we can implement that, saying that if whatever index that I'm looking that is out of bound, then I will resize my current array, and whatever I'm resizing, right? Suppose till now it was 10, 4, and then I'm making it 8, and then basically I will do that for the initialize element only. I mean the new added element, this for loop, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that way
it's
it will
not
be easy to
makes
do.
sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And there is one
Yeah.
trick called normalization where you can map your graph nodes to some integer, and then you can always ensure you have at least n integers in your graph, and then you can apply same union find
Oh, yes,
always
yes. Same
for.
for matrix. You can do row and column.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
normalization or something. It's kind mapping your graph nodes to integers, that's
Yeah. I
0
think
to n, and
yes.
then
That
you
is
don't that your graph is string based or something else. You know the IDs for respective nodes.
I think that is very powerful technique. I think one of this we will see in today's one of the question also. But that is really powerful for all your question. Okay, any data structure related question, because most of the time, okay, priority queue or a union find or a graph data structure, we assume that it is integer, right? Let's say 0 to n, and we write code on that, right? For example, in this example, we assume that there are n elements and starting from 0 to n, right? 0 to n minus 1, sorry. So, all your code and understanding is based on that, right? Now, you are given a questions with the strings. Now, you don't want to change this to here, take strings and write down this code, right? Because that will makes it complex and sometimes impossible also to write it, right? Because we are very powerfully utilizing the indexing here. If you have a string as your input data structure, you can't use string as an index, right? Then you have to come up with a hash map, and there it will become more complex. There is a more chance to make error, right? So we can stick with this some one implementation and see how we can utilize that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, that's a very good technique. All right. Now then let's move to the question. Okay. So let's start. I have a couple of questions, 3, 4, 5, I guess. So let's see how many we can do. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, redundant connection.
Redundant connection. Good.
Font is a
So
little small.
okay, I can make little big. Okay. Is that
Yes,
is
yes,
this okay?
yes, yes.
Okay. So maybe take a minute and read this. Okay. So the question is right. It says that we are given a undirected graph and all the edges, right? And there are extra edges in that we don't need. For example, 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 are connected, and 1 and 3. So 1 and 3 is connected, right? Now there is a 2 and 3. So even if we connected 2 and 3, it doesn't matter because all three elements that is present in these edges are connected, right? So 3 and 2 are connected via 1. So this is the extra edge that we have to remove. Okay.
But the extra edge can be any, right?
Any.
Yeah.
Any. So it
In,
says that
in this example,
yeah.
also 1 and 2 we can also see as an extra, but they're saying that return the last. So
Yeah.
that's why 2, 3 is the answer.
That's correct. So basically, you go through it, and then whichever has happened last, right? Yes, return that. That's correct. Okay. And in this example, right? 1, 2 is 1 and 2, then 2 and 3, and then 3 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are connected, and then you get 1 and 4. So 4 and 1 was already connected, but via 2 and 3. But now once we got 1 and 4, we said that okay, this is the one that is that I want to return. And see in this example, right? Constraint is given. So basically, number is also given where it is at max 1000. So the question that we discussed, right? We can assume that it is 1000 and have a structure with the 1000 element, right? Or it says that we can easily find the edges dot length, and those are the number of nodes we have.
So basically, we need to find a cycle in the graph and why the cycle is happening with that node, right?
Why this cycling happened with this node? Yes, we have to. Yes, ultimately, yes. If you look at this, it's a graph, and we have to find that there is a cycle, and not only find the cycle, but we have to. There is always a cycle, right? It is told here saying that. right? There is a one extra edge. So when there is an extra edge, that means there is a cycle. It can be cycle. It can no. It is always cycle because this is a undirected graph, right? So that there will be always cycle if there is an extra edge, right? So you know, if you have a graph, right, of n nodes, they need n minus one, at least n minus one edges, you know, to connect everyone with each other.
Okay.
If there is n edges, that means you have one extra edge for n node that can be removed. Right. So if we implement this using graph, right, you can solve it. But I believe that it will be really difficult. I mean, it is doable, right? Let's discuss that. If you want to implement using a graph theory, graph algorithms, how we can do it.
So we can make a DFS, and as soon as we go back to visited node, then we found a cycle. Now this
Yes.
problem did not say return any of the redundant edge. They said last one. So
Yeah.
again, we have to go through all the edges and figure which is last. So actually,
Exactly.
yeah, it might be O of n square, n. O of
Overfan,
n.
right?
Yeah,
So
but extra pass.
Extra pass, yeah. It is overfan and extra pass, yes. So basically, first you detect the cycle, and detecting the cycle is O of n in algorithm, right? Graph algorithm. And then once you know that this is what it is making cycle, right? This all node basically, you go through each edges. So now you know that 1, 2, 3, and 4 are part of my cycle. And when you detect the cycle, you don't know 1, 2, 3, 4 are part of the cycle, but you know that basically one of the node is part of the cycle. In this case, it can be 1, 4, 3, and 2, right? Any of the node. Then from there, basically, you can figure out that you know, I will go through. I will start from this node and you know, come back to myself. Then I know that all the edges that is, you know, making this cycle. And then basically we have to go through the input edges and see that which of these edges happened last, right? And return that. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And it is doable with the graph, right? It is more complex. First thing is that if you want to do this, it is just given edges. So we have to construct the graph structure out of it, right?
Correct, correct.
It is just edge list is given. So most of the time, most of the algorithm we want to do that, I have seen that we most of the time use the adjacency list. So you convert this to the graph in adjacency list implementation, then you detect the cycle, and then you do that. So with the union find, it can be easily done, right? So let's see that. Anyone have any idea how we can do with the union find? I'm just going to you know, reuse this class as it is. Okay. So I'm just copying this class here and say that this class is also available.
I think it was Java.
Say that again. That class
I
is
think
on Java.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
correct.
implementation was yeah.
Java.
Or C Sharp, yeah.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Java or C Sharp. I think it is C Sharp. I will use one of that. And okay. So I'm just simply pasting this class. Okay. So let's assume that we have a union find class available at our disposal, right? That we can simply utilize.
So we can start with the empty graph and one by one consider the edges.
Okay.
And if we are using union find, so initially there are no edges in our graph. Every node is a single disjoint set. Every node is a node component, and one edge merges two components together. As soon as an edge is found and the union is not taking place because it's returning early, since it's already connected, then we say that's the problematic edge.
Okay, so basically we are saying that I will go through each edges, right?
Yes, yes, each edge and union the two together.
Okay. All right. Edge in edges. And basically I will do something here in this, right? So we want to utilize union find, right? So I will define union find structure new. And what is the size I want to give?
So here we know that edges.length is also known. Number of nodes is same as that. So we can do that.
Right? Good.
It's given
So
in
we
the
can-
question.
Yeah, we can just do the
I think-
edges.length.
Yeah.
Right.
Should it be +1 for 0 indexing?
It is 0 indexing. So if I say that 10, do we need +1?
I didn't get
Go,
it.
right?
5+1.
Because if we see the graph here, there are 5 nodes and there is one node that is numbered 5. But our index of length 5, if we make
Yeah.
a union find, that would have only up to index 4.
I think very good point. So why we have to do is that if you see that this constant, right? So our union find algorithm assume that your start node with 0 to n minus 1. Is that correct? So for this example, right, there are 5 edges. If I make union find of 5, then basically I have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So either I use +1 size, or I while utilizing it, I always say that -1. So when I say that connect 1 to 2, instead of 1 to 2, I say that connect 0 to 1. When I say that connect 2 to 3, instead of say that 2 to 3, I say that connect 1 to 2. So this is another example. I think a couple of weeks ago we discussed saying that utilizing one extra memory, right? It makes your things easier. So in this case, just adding +1, and even if we need 5, I'm just defining as a 6 size for this example too. That makes code very easy. Okay. All right. So what we want to do here inside?
So now this, we'll consider this edge, whether it is a redundant edge or not. If it is
Okay.
redundant, means it's connecting something that is already connected.
Okay. So union find structure ask, help us, right, to find this. We have implemented that connected, right? And we can give 2 edges there, right? Basically, I can pass edge. What am I typing? So what I'm doing is that for any given edge, right? Let's say that 1 or 2. What I'm checking is that whether 1 or 2 is connected or not, already connected or not, right? And in this case, it will return saying that no, 1 and 2 is not connected, right? So if it is not connected, so here we are checking connected, right? So I don't want to do anything if it is, connected. But if it is not connected, what I want to do is that UF dot union, right? Is that what was method name, right?
Yeah,
Union.
correct.
Union. And basically, I want to pass edge 0 and 1, right? So I'm saying that, if I'm taking this first 2, 1 and 2, basically it is connecting 1 and 2 if they are not already connected. And then we will do 2 and 3. If 2 and 3 are not already connected, it is connecting 2 and 3, right?
Avik, you need to write in else block, I guess.
Say that again.
L-
Else
then,
block.
yeah, else block.
Else is fine. I think.
It is not required because if you find the point, you'll return it from there itself.
Yeah,
So else but is not required.
that's fine. Yeah, I agree with you, but okay. Yes, if then else. Okay. Okay. Now, what
I
if we
think
find something is
in line number 5, you need to put a space, right? Edge and space in, right?
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know syntax.
no.
of
We
it.
need.
Okay.
Yeah. Good eyes. Thank you. All right. So, what we do if we find something is connected?
I think we should need to return that directly from here.
Yeah. So let's see this, right? Let's say that 1 and 2. So when we connect 1 and 2, in the beginning, nothing is connected, right? So basically, if this is what we are maintaining, right, our group. So initially, it was like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Those are all separate components. Is that correct? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They are all separate, Now, let's go this input one by one, right? This one. So I'm doing 1 and 2. So basically, I'm checking if 1 and 2 are connected. If it is not connected, if it is connected, I don't do anything else. I am connecting it. So what will happen when I execute 1 and 2? Basically, this become 1. So they are part of one group now, right? 1 and 2. 1 and 2 is done. Then we'll go to the next stage, 2 and 3. Again, same thing happen. They will become part of the same group, right? So 2 and 3 is done because they are not connected. Now I'm doing 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are different group. So I'm again calling union and saying that 3 and 4 are now together, right? At this point, we have 3 connected component, right? One is a 0, one is 1, 2, 3, 4. All are connected, and one is 5. Now we have 2 more edges left, right? So 1 and 4. Now it says that connect 1 and 4. But when we call this connected, 1 and 4 are already part of same group, right? It is connected. It is connected through 3 and 2. So that means this edge is the extra edge that I can remove, and that is happening at the last, right? In our list, because that's the last one we encountered that says that, oh, I am already connected. You are redundant. So basically, here I just return that edge. Do we need to process any further, or we can return from here? Or like we should catch this in answer and then, process till end? What do you think? Any thought?
Not
you still
required.
have to process 1 and 5, right?
Okay. We have 2 answers, so let's discuss both, right? Why we have to process and why we don't have to process. Let's proceed with any one of.
So
I don't think
why
it is
we not?
required.
So my answer for why we do not process is like there is only one edge which is creating this one, and we have to identify. So once we identify, no need to process it.
Okay.
And also
Yep.
the reason is that we now have n-1 edges connecting n nodes. So
Yeah. Correct. Right. And yeah, if you read the question, I think there's with one additional edge added, only one. So you got the answer, then whether you want to process this list or no, it doesn't matter. But I think you're not going to get a different answer. Correct?
What if progress further? Again, we have to come back, right?
Say that again.
What we like continue further without returning? If you omit that line, we have to again process finding that node, right?
No, so then we have to catch it. Basically, we will temporarily store it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but it's unnecessary, right? So we are not doing it, right? Okay. Anything else we are missing here, or any other question?
Yeah, but we still have to return this find redundant at the end, right? When you are completed with the for each loop, we have to return some value.
So we have written here.
Yeah, but at the end of the function, we don't have to return something.
Yeah. So I think we got the answer, but we have to satisfy our compiler, I believe, right?
I think it's written empty. That's all.
Yeah, we can do anything, but we have to create new. I would prefer to do, something like this, right? We know that it is just redundant to satisfy compiler.
I think if there is no cycle, returning like this can be create ambiguity, right?
Oh, is it possible that there is no cycle?
I don't know if some test case, something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe
there
just
is
store this whatever you get on line 7 in an answer. Keep on completing the whole loop and then at the end return.
That is cleaner, I guess. But I was thinking also, Bhavesh, that edge is 0. If what if we have a 0 node, like we actually have 0 to 5, then yes, we will have the size of array as 6, but then we can't just return edges 0, the 0th array.
no. This one is basically this input that always starts through 0, right? 0, 1, 2 index. It's a 0-based index in C#.
Then how come that is the answer if nothing matches?
No, I'm just returning that, saying that see so there is always answer, right? There is always answer.
So it'll be dead code for now. Yeah.
It is a dead code, but we
Yeah.
have to satisfy compiler. If I don't put it, it says that okay, I can't have a function that doesn't return in all code path.
Yeah. But even though it's a dead code, what she's trying to say is we're still returning invalid answer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's the only thing. Yeah.
It is better save the result and break it from here and
No.
return it at the end.
I would empty array or something, right? That tells that there's nothing, because, for example, for any reason, if we come to this code path and there is some function dependent on this, so it will take it as this is the edge that it wasn't supposed to be removed.
okay. So is that fine now? Is it fine? So I say that I have defined result. I'm catching that result and I'm returning that result.
But we
I
are
can
doing
call
some-
break as well
yeah.
if I want.
Yeah. Break is better. Yeah. Early exit.
Okay.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's run it and see if it works. Now, what happened?
For loop braces is required, I guess. Yep. Starting for loop braces. Then
Okay.
So think that even if you are creating or declaring a result at line number 4, you still need to initialize it, because otherwise it would complain that an uninitialized value is returned.
Okay. I'm just initializing with empty, right? Can I do
Yes,
that
but do
with
you
0?
want
Yeah.
to have size 1 here?
Size 1. You can't have 0. That's correct. Or can't I have
Actually
0?
size 2.
Size
Because
2.
yeah, because then you're also updating it at line number 8.
I think it should be fine, but okay, let me do that. Okay.
Complaining with the UF class, right? There's something remaining.
Okay. So what is happening here? This is ending here. Okay. Return
Class,
result.
Bhavish. Like line number 18, close the class.
Yeah, one more brace. Yeah.
No. I think it was capital C.
So your UF class should have something at the end as a, you have to close the class with a semicolon.
Line number 32. Let's see that. I think something is missing here. Line number 32. This one. This is extra. Okay. Looks like this is fine. Okay. Let's submit. Okay. Yeah. So we are saying that this we need to have 0, right?
Not taking a very long time. 5.51.
It's taking long time.
Yeah, looks like that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't. I know C#, right? I don't know.
One question, Bhavik, here.
Yeah.
So let's say the edges are not starting from 1 and 2. So we do not require that +1 in line number 3, right? Let's say edges are starting from 0 also in the question.
That's correct. Edges are starting from 0, then we don't need +1.
Okay.
But anything extra, it doesn't matter. But yes, I agree. We did +1. In this example, we do need it. Otherwise, we can do without that as well.
Here
Good.
we are doing path compression, right?
Yes, we are doing path compression. Yes.
Okay, so why so long time?
I don't know. I am not sure why. So let's see what I did submitted in past. Okay. Let me get this one. Let's see what language it was. Is this also C#? Yeah. And is there a different code? It's the same code, just we did not have this and we did not catch and something like this, right? Okay.
It's better.
Little bit better because there is a else is removed and I'm just returning from here rather than at the end.
Right,
I'm not
right.
sure if that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, that also
but,
takes some time. Yeah, but
but I think it is fine. I mean, in all possibility, you don't want to. So we want to write a correct algorithm, and that satisfy all test cases.
but this memory utilization is good one. New code, old one is memory utilization is very high.
Which one?
You see 37%, yeah, 32.
No, percentage is fine, but you say that 32%.
Size is almost similar. No? Yeah.
Size is similar, right? It doesn't matter. See? So see again, I just did right now and see the difference. It's a kind of swing code, right? It is 37 with the same memory. It is saying that 92. So I think it is fine. I mean, you can still see this, but probably you can ignore when you know that this is.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this is the most optimized solution. All right. So see, we utilize the union find class, right? And if you have remembered this to write or understand this to write, right? Then only thing we are writing is very small code, right? Here. And that is it to solve this problem. Right? And it's a medium complexity problem. Is there any question for this one? Otherwise, we'll move to next one.
Yeah, I'm confused. Unlike if the end is not mentioned, that kind of questions, how we do? Yeah, we can do an example question. Okay.
Say that again. If
N is not mentioned.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll have one question like that, right? Let's see in this, I think. Center similarity. Yeah. Let's do this second question. All right. So let's read it and then probably we can start that. So this is the question where I think in some interview they ask how you can fight plagiarism, right? In writing. So basically there are two sentences given, right? Sentence one is a great acting skills and sentence two is fine drama talent. And you have to say that whether these two sentences are, similar or not. And how you find a similarity? Basically there are a word, similar words are given in a pair. So great is similar to good. Fine is similar to good. Drama is similar to acting. Skill is similar to talent, right? And in second example, again, same thing, right? I love LeetCode and I love One Piece. And a similar word are manga. Is that how you pronounce this? Manga, One Piece, platform, anime, LeetCode, platform, and anime, manga. Okay. And basically, we have to answer if the sentences are similar or not. Okay. Is question clear?
Like, great and good is there, right? Good can be replaced with great. Great can be replaced with good. Bidirectional, right?
That's correct. So this is bidirectional, right? So yeah.
It is like a graph, like we saw in the last one with like non-directional graph, right? We have edges between these words.
Yes, that's correct. We are saying that we have an edge between great and good, and fine and good, and drama and acting, and skills and talent, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. All right. And it says clearly, right, saying that notice that the word is always similar to itself. That means great acting skill and fine drama talent is there. Instead of that great drama talent is there, then also the answer is true because great is equal to great. Right? And the relationship is transitive. That means that, see here, great is good and fine is also good. There's no direct relationship between great and fine. It is not given. But great is equal to good and fine equal to good. That means great is equal to fine because both are similar. Great is equal to good equal to fine. So great and fine are similar, right? Same way acting and drama. So acting and drama is given, right? So drama and acting is given, but the other way is also correct, right? Because acting and drama is also true. If drama is equal to acting, acting is equal to drama. And similar thing is skills and talent. Okay, so how we can solve it? It looks like graph, right? What do you want to do? Any suggestion?
Create
Any idea?
adjacency.
First, I'll map all words to a particular number, so it becomes easy to represent. So one hash map word to ID, and each word will be given an ID.
Okay. All right. Right. So okay, that is one up. Yes.
Then form an adjacency matrix like
Okay.
and then find a union find.
Adjacency matrix and find union find. What do you mean by adjacency matrix?
I mean like edges. I want to find what edges. In the previous question they mentioned edges, right? Here they do
So
not
here
mention.
also there's edges.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Got it.
See, this
Oh,
is
now-
edges, right?
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
and like Johan said, when we will map it to numbers, we can actually get those integers instead of words, like in our.
Yeah. So see, this is exactly edges, right? But here this question is that I understand integers. My union find class understand integer, right? So let me basically copy my union find class, right? What we have written here. So we are not going to rewriting it, but just keep it. Okay.
Well, I solved this problem using BFS.
Okay.
Taking a long time. All test case passing, but taking long time.
It's taking a long time, right? Yeah. So see, BFS is good, but we saw that, right? I'm not sure if you were there in last class or not.
No, I was there.
Last discussion. Okay. So this is so if you do the BFS and there is a long list of connection, right? Then basically you start from one node and go till the end, right?
Yeah.
For every word to find a similar word. So it might end up doing O of n every time. So
It can be
complexity
more
become
than O of n. Yeah, it is depend upon number of node in the graph.
Yeah.
More than that, yeah.
So overall complexity can be O of n square in that case.
Yes, true.
Right. So we want to reduce this, right? So graph you can do it using graph, but let's assume that we are going to use union find n because it is anyway faster way to find the comparison, right? So there are some hint given in this, right? So if you go through the theory of union find, right? The theory of union find start with this, right? So what is always similar to itself, right? And similarity relationship transitive. Those are the two main big hint is given if we want to take it that way.
True.
And when we went through union find, I think that also kind of start with this, right? They are transitive, relationship is transitive.
Yeah, you mentioned that last time, transitive.
Yeah. See, reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, right?
Yeah.
So P is connected to P, that is self. That is also given.
Yeah, right.
So this is not given, but it is implicit, right? Both are connected, symmetric. And transitive is P is Q, Q is R, so P is equal to R. Right. So all three is kind of matching here, satisfying. Okay. All right. So anybody want to take any lead and see that? So I got a one thing saying that we have to convert to hash map, right?
Yes. Then it would be easy for union find and for
Right.
everything in the.
So yeah. So see, this is the example where you can get a string or any other data structure in that matter, right? And but you don't want to pollute your union find class with those details basically. For example, here, it is given saying that great equal to good. So either you make a relationship between great and good. Now, if you want to, take this class saying that if great is connected to good or not, right? And you want to say that find great, and you want to say that union, great and good, and then you want to implement all this, right? If you're just dealing with this, then this code will become complex, and there is a high probability that there will be error in this, right? Because instead of integer and indexes that we are using very efficiently, you can't use that anymore. You might end up using map, hash map, or something else, right? Dictionary or something else, right? So I would highly recommend it for this kind of question, right? For graph, especially graph and union find related question. Try to model it in an integer series that start from 0 to n, or 1 to n plus 1, or 1 to n, or whatever way, right? It's a continuous integer series. So uh, convert your input to 0, 1 to integers basically. That will be easier, right? So for example, let me give you this example. Okay. So this is our first sentence, right? This is first sentence. And sentence 2 is this, and a similar pair is this, right? Now, what if I, basically assign integer to something, right? So great is 1, okay, good is 2, this is 3, right? Or I want to start with 0, right? 0, 1, fine is 3. Now, good is already we have seen before, right? 1. So I don't want to assign new integer to good, and I am just going to utilize what I had before. Drama is what it should be. I made some mistake. Nobody noticed. 0, 1, 2, right? Drama is
3. Yeah.
3. Acting is 4, 5, and 6, right?
Yeah.
If I do this, and if I convert my sentence 1 to this, right? Now this becomes basically great means 0. Acting is 4, and skill is 5, right? And my this become fine is 2, drama is 3, and talent is 6. So if we were given this, right? So this is the pair. 0, 1 is pair, 2, 1 is pair, 3, 4 is pair, 5, 6 is pair, and these are the given sentences, right? I mean 0, 4, 5, and 2, 3, 6, and you have to see if it is similar. Is it easy to find that? Are you guys following?
Yes.
Do you have any question? Okay. So
Yes,
so first thing I'm going to do is that basically translate this, basically assign integer to each of this node, right? What we have, right? So I'm gonna define a dictionary, right? Dictionary of string and integer.
Now, one thing I kind of was thinking wrong was to map these sentences, but we should start mapping the similar pairs because some of them might not be in the sentence, some of the words.
Yes.
So, yeah. So something to maybe note.
I see. Yeah. So I'm just calling it word index. Okay. So basically I'm assigning an index, right? And I'm going through basically this I list, right? Whatever is given. I list of string and similar pairs. So I'm going to do for each. And this is the pair, right? I will get one pair in pairs. Okay. What I want to do here. So what I want to do is that I want to add a word into the dictionary. And once I add into the dictionary, basically it will have some index, right? If it is not already present. So I am going to check if the word is already there or not, right? So if word index dot contains key.
Also, we would want to initialize the integer like a index or something to 0 and then increment it.
So here's the thing, right? List. So list in C# is basically.
Oh, sorry. It's
Oh,
C#,
I see. I
sorry.
see. Yes, you are correct. So I need to track integer. We were doing right 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Good point. So I need a integer tracker, right? Index, right? I will
Yes,
just
yeah.
say that index, right? Because I want to track that. I want to start with 0 and then I want to assign this integer, right? And keep incrementing it, right? So what it says that if my word, right? So pair has there are two words in the pair, right? Pair 0. If the dictionary contains it, don't do anything, right? But if doesn't contains it, so if it doesn't, dictionary doesn't have it, then I want to basically, add it into the dictionary. Dot. Okay, so it's a dictionary, right? So I'm saying that assigned some integer, and that integer is basically our index, right? And if I assign it, I'm gonna do index plus plus. I can write it in one line also, directly put index plus plus here. Just for simplification, I'm putting in the second line. Okay, what I should do here? This is a similar code.
Just for parallel, yeah.
Just another one, right? So this method, what happened is that now I have a dictionary that has a unique, integer assigned to each word, right? That is it.
Should take the words from the sentence also?
Do you think we should take it? Let's.
Might be possible that there's a word in the sentence which is not there in pairs.
Okay.
Then we return false directly, right?
Yeah.
So if it is not in the similar pairs and there is a word here, suppose let's say that instead of great there is say that they, right? And here they or he. Okay. If this word is not present in the dictionary,
but
then yes, go ahead.
What if in sentence 2 also that was they and it is not present in similar pairs?
Okay. So if the word are similar, do we need to go and find?
Yeah.
So if the word is similar, do we need to go and find in this dictionary? Basically
Not
saying,
required.
figuring out. See, it says that the word is similar to itself. If both word are same, then we don't have to go and check also whether they are part of this, similar pairs or not, right? Is that correct?
Correct. Even if you initialize it, it's like assigning a node to itself. It's like assigning parent to itself, right, Bhavesh?
Say that again.
Be assigned to day, like acting will be assigned to itself. Okay.
Sorry, I
my
did not get
question.
that. Can you please? Yeah.
It's okay. Like I'm wrong, but there is we can skip it like the sentence, because if they are same, we can skip it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we can skip it, but let's see as we go down further in implementation if we need that. Okay.
Yes. I think it's not needed, right?
Yeah, right. And as always, right, I want to do union find. So my idea is that basically I'm gonna take each word from each sentence and try to see if they are similar, right? And that's the whole things I'm going to do basically. Okay. Basically, I'm going to take each word from both sentence and try to compare and say that if both are a part of this similar words or not, right? But before that, I need to create a union find structure of this similar pairs, right? Then only I can answer if great is equal to fine or not, right? Or acting is equal to drama or not. So I'm gonna define a union find. Okay, equal to new union find. Now tell me, what is our size here? See here we did not get
Index.
we did not got n, right?
Index or dictionary size.
Right. So either you can do exactly, either you can do index or you can do this dot count, right? What is my size of my dictionary? Those many elements I have in pairs. Okay. And since we start with the zero index, right? We started with zero index. We don't have to worry about adding one or anything like that. Okay. And what I'm doing is that I'm basically doing a pairs, right? Similar for loop. By the way, I have a question. If anyone who has recently given interview or recently in the sense in pandemic on screen share, do you guys copy paste or you try to write the similar code again?
I have done both.
Okay. I just want to know. Okay, I was curious.
Depends upon how much time is left.
Okay. All right. That's it.
What is better?
I would say copy pasting should not be a problem. Like it's not a sin. Like you have written that code, so you can always copy paste.
Okay.
They will not catch it if you do copy paste.
Yeah, they will see it. I
So
think.
we can ask them, right?
Copy paste from where? I mean.
No, yeah, we are. Okay. Maybe my question it went to wrong direction. I was asking, like, I'm gonna write this for loop again, so I'm copy pasting this for loop here, right?
Yeah, that
I'm
is
asking
fine.
that copy paste
They
in my
will
code.
allow. This
Yeah,
thing they will allow.
No, allow is there. I was just trying to see opinion or how everyone does that. Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, they're not testing our typing skill, I feel.
Yeah, of course. I mean, see, it has always advantage and disadvantage, right? If I had made a mistake here, I am repeating that mistake here.
True.
Yeah.
So there is always an advantage, disadvantage. But yes,
One thing I observed is like they require any some method, like you code usability. Like let's say you're doing the same code again and again.
Yeah, and then
Expect you to write in the
Okay.
some method and call that method.
exactly.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So now tell me how you want to unionize this, right? You want to connect great with good. What code we write in the union? Because my union class my union find class understand only index.
So first we'll check whether.
Hmm.
Okay, we'll just go for WI of each word, pair 0
Yeah.
and WI of pair 1.
Yeah, I think, that's fair, right? Because I know that word is always present in my dictionary, right? So I can simply go with that, right? Correct? Basically, it takes each word and it's find its unique integer ID that we assign, right, in a word index. And basically it unionize those pairs. Is it clear? Because this is crux of the problem. So if it is not clear, we should discuss this if anyone have any doubt.
So many people are asking similar pairs is replaced with pairs. So can you change it to pairs or similar pairs? Either way.
Which one?
Yeah, either you change it on line 2 or
You
Line
call
2
it similar pairs, right? In the question, they call it similar
or pair.
pairs.
Call it as
Yeah. Let me call it as pairs, huh?
Yeah.
That's correct. Is that okay?
Mhm.
Okay, good. Thank you, whoever caught it. All right. So I assume that we are clear till now, right? Now
Yes.
what we should do?
Now, since we've got all the similar words in the same component, we can
Mhm.
just check, is it connected? Is it connected? Is it connected on each index?
Mhm.
Yeah, so we have to traverse both the sentences together, right?
Both sentences together. That's the interesting thing, right? So is it possible that one sentence is larger than another?
Yes.
Let's see.
But, yeah.
Same length they say,
Does it say same length?
at least in the explanation it is saying. So if it is not, then actually it is, we have to return it. Either
Okay.
false or so,
So
right? Yeah.
Length means
So-
you're talking about number of words in one sentence.
Yes.
Yeah, so it is fine. Yeah.
what is that? It is fine means?
Number of words in each sentence length
Uh-huh.
is the talking about.
So if the number of words doesn't match, we can return false directly as a short
No,
circuit of-
no. I thought about it. That's not correct.
Why?
What is that? If
No,
number of words?
because we can have, say, for example, fine is good, right? So I
Uh-huh.
can just have skills and fine
Huh?
again,
Huh?
like, or I
But-
can have good.
Give me the sentence. I mean, example. I'll write it down.
So
here.
if you can write the first, sentence one and just add great. Oh, sorry,
So-
add good to it. Yeah.
So here I'll add good.
Yeah.
Is it so?
Yeah.
So you are saying, is it similar or not similar?
I'm saying they're similar.
But
Oh,
it says that good, great acting skills. And here it says fine drama skill. Is it similar?
I
It's
think
one
this
Actually,
is
for
one.
me, it is not right
actually.
because they want to compare the sentences. If the
I
two
think it's out of
sentences are
scope, yeah.
similar.
yeah, it is comparing each word, it's same or not.
Word by word.
Word
Because
by word.
otherwise,
Let's see if we say that it is similar, then are we going to say that we will skip all the similar words, whatever coming next? Because actually we want to compare acting to drama, right? Not great to drama.
No, true, but then I can say someone is like, contextually speaking, this question is like when someone wants to see whether a review is a good review or not, right? And people can use different words. So if I can say this product is amazing and great, and someone says this product is awesome, right? So amazing
Uh-huh.
and great and just one word awesome, they are similar, right?
I
Yeah.
have a counter example.
Yeah, but yeah, the practical real life experience is correct what you're saying.
Yes.
If you say
But
not,
whether that matches with this problem scope, that is important.
Yeah,
not
this scope is like
right? This product is not awesome and this product is not awesome should not say similar. Very vastly opposite meaning.
But in that case, the mapping will be different, correct?
Correct. Mapping
You-
should then include many words. I think it's 1-to-1 over here.
in this
Right.
question context, it is 1-to-1
So,
because
I think, what we're discussing is that ideal plagiarism software should take care of that, right?
Correct,
If
yeah.
there is a multiple
Right,
perspective and all.
But here
Absolutely.
in the
And-
question, it was given same length.
But in this context of this, probably we have to ignore that, right?
It's
Hmm.
given in the
So then
question.
it can be a boundary condition, right? For us, the length of two statements is sentence different, then just return false.
Yes,
That's
correct.
correct. That is what I was trying to come. So instead of here take care of sentence, basically in the beginning, I want to say that if the length is different, I'm just gonna return it, right?
Mhm.
Yes, that we can do. But in case if they map one word to multiple words, then if the
Then
question is
union
changed,
find should work, right? It still should work.
okay.
No?
Yeah, it will actually, if we do it that way, if we have two similar words and then we actually try to compress it the way Bhavish was saying.
Oh, yeah. So when we convert it into this in this array, we can always maybe create a set. So we have deduplication.
Actually,
Why
in this,
duplication
we have given
required?
the
Sorry.
question that it's 1-to-1.
They have the
Okay,
same length.
I missed what we are discussing. Can somebody explain?
So the way she said, the sentence on line 6, now good and great, you are there. And the second sentence is only having 3 words, but the first one is having 4 words.
Yeah, yeah.
In that case, good and great, if they belong to the fine, they all belong to the same component. So we can compress this sentence one.
Oh, I see.
Something like that. But then we'll have to be, there might be different cases.
Yeah.
In some cases, it might be 2, some cases might be 3, so we'll have to keep on watching for that.
Yeah.
It might be
So
slightly complex to implement that.
Yeah. So this one says that basically it is, if you read the question, right, we have to do one-to-one comparison, right? And basically.
They have already mentioned same length, Bhavesh.
Same
Didn't
length
mention?
and index I and index I have to
The
be
line
similar.
number.
That's their point 1 and
They're
2.
the same length. So no need, even if.
Okay, so we don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
We assume that it is same length, right?
Okay, so the test case itself are designed that way.
Yeah.
No, we
that's
can't
fine.
assume. We can't assume. It's given 2 sentences are similar if they are same length. So we can just short circuit.
Oh,
okay,
I
got it.
see.
Sorry, I overread. Yeah,
So
sorry.
the two sentences are similar if they have the same length. So this is the one condition, right? If they don't have a same length, then I'm returning
They have to
false.
return false. Okay.
Yes.
And sentence 1I and sentence 2I are similar. So each word are similar. That is also given, right?
Yes.
Both index should be similar. So that basically raise this argument, whatever we're discussing, right? Saying that we have to compare this and length difference is different sentence. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So now what I want to do, so I have a union find, a data structure created out of similar pairs. Now I have to go through both centers, right? And now we know that, both are same length. I can go through only one, right? Why I know that now both are same length? Because if it is not same length, I already, written it. So if at this point I know that both are same length, then only I'm executing this, right? So I have to go through each word, right? Now I can't use for each here.
Yeah, you need the
Because
index.
I need to get index, right? Okay. Now I got a word, right? Let's say that sentence 1, right? So let's say that I got a word, right? A word out of it, right? So string word 1 is equal to sentence 1 of I, and string word 2 is equal to sentence 2 of I, right? So both sentence I word I got it, right, as a string. What I will do?
If they are not same.
If they are not same. If they are same, what I will do?
You just
Then
ignore it.
they are similar. Continue. If equal to, then okay. If not equal to and both are in the given hash set, then we will check the DSU.
Oh wow, good.
Yes, that is a very important thing. Okay. So what we want is that, see, we want to see that if our hash set contains that word or not, right? And that is the one thing we discussed also before.
Yes, if any
word 1 and word 2, should it not be dot equals? Or is it a language thing?
So that
Yeah, when
again?
comparing word 1 and word 2, is it a C sharp thing that we can compare this way?
Yeah.
I think that's an overloaded operator.
Yeah, by default in C# and Java it is overloaded.
Yeah. So you can do this in Java and C#. That's correct. If you want to do some special comparison, for example, ignore case and all, then you have to use inbuilt function compare function.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is that, basically I want to make sure that that word are part of the key, right? So if word are, if the word is, both word is there, right?
Mhm.
So, okay, in what case I want to return false? Let's see that. If the word one is not in the dictionary, I want to return false. Is that correct?
Yeah, both I need to be checked here, right? Word one and word.
But if one is not there, can I return false or no?
Yeah, because we have
Um,
already checked the
yeah.
top one, right? Yeah.
Right?
In anything is there not absent, then we can
Yeah,
return false.
either way
Yeah.
also. Yeah.
So word two is not there, I will return false, right?
Yeah.
And if both are not similar, right? Is that correct?
Both are
Yes.
not similar.
Both are not similar. Then you have to match it, right? To using whether they are same parents or not.
Yes, that's why connected.
So I'm using connected, right? That's where now I want to utilize my union
Okay,
find,
okay, okay, got it. Yeah,
right?
true. Yeah.
So, and here I see I am passing index of my word,
True.
right? So what I'm doing is that if both words are similar, just continue. If the word one is not in the dictionary, and if word two is not in the dictionary, that means we haven't seen that word. This is a new word. If we haven't seen that word, that means it is not part of similar pairs anyway. So I'm returning false, right? Saying that centers are different. Or at the end, if both are not similar word, right? So that's why I said not connected. And I am passing here basically this index what I created 0, 1, 2, right? Those index I am passing, and if those are not connected, then I am saying that it is false.
Identity return true, right?
Yeah, that is the main thing. Otherwise, it will fail, right? So basically, if everything is passed, then I want to return true. So basically, I have found all the word in the dictionary. All are similar. So I'm not doing anything here. I'm not returning anything in this for loop. Then at the end, if I come out of this comparison, I say that, okay, everything looks great. Everything is similar, right? Let's run this code and see. Of course. Okay, let's submit. All right. False. So this is, I think I want to again emphasize on the things that we did here, right? This thing where we assign index to a word. And we will use that technique, many places, especially in graph also, we can use this many times. Okay. So does anyone have any question about this?
One question is like, are we doing union by rank? It is different algorithm or it is the same algorithm?
We are doing weighted union by size.
Okay, union by rank is something different. Okay.
I think it is same or different. Let me think.
Same, but rank includes size, depth, or any other factor that you can
Yes.
utilize in comparison.
So
Okay.
yes, I agree. So this is union by rank only. But rank, as we discussed, it can be size, it can be depth of the tree. Any one. And we are using size of the tree instead of depth.
Correct.
Yes, you can say rank is equal to size in our case.
Yeah. All right.
Krish, can you provide this union find class reference in the chat?
Yes. Yes. I will put, instead of chat, are you in Discord? I'll put that. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So any communication we do in Discord, because this Zoom will go off.
Yeah.
On,
So I'll put in Discord so that you can refer it later today. Okay. I'll immediately after this. All right. I'll put this solution also, but I mean, it is simple, but if anyone need it.
One thing is here that number of line of code is very huge if you going for it by union. Writing number of line of code. You have to consider it.
Yes. Yeah. So I would assume that this writing this code should not take more than 5 minutes or so, because I assume that we have practiced this, right? It is
Yeah.
similar code as we do DFS or BFS in graph.
Yeah.
Basically, it should not take more time writing that basic code, because this is a similar code you will write everywhere.
True.
I mean, some variation can be there. We have some, problem where there is some variation. Probably we can look at that next time. But whenever we have a empty session, we can look at those problems where there will be some variation inside of this class. But mainly these are the function. Count and connected will never change. Union will never change. Maybe it change find, maybe if it is changed, or you introduce some extra method in this class, depending on the context of problem where it is used.
Are we doing a question where n is not known for union find?
Say that again.
Are we doing one more question for the use
Where
case?
n is not known?
Yes.
I don't have right now question where n is not known, but I can find that. Okay,
Accounts
so we can
merge.
discuss it. Huh?
Accounts merge. That question.
What is
Yeah,
that?
accounts merge. Yeah, that is don't have defined definition of size.
There's a question called accounts merge, but it is hard
No,
question.
but I think if you UT, I think in there also second merge is a email, right? Email merge.
Yes.
Similarity. Right. So there also basically we are gonna do this, I believe.
Correct. Exact same
Right?
approach.
Exactly same approach. Yes. So once we do this, we will have the size, right?
Yeah, with the dictionary, correct.
Yeah, and even if we don't have size, it's fine to go through all elements. Say that I first need size. It is fine, because in worst case it is just adding n extra complexity, right? And adding n extra complexity doesn't. So most of the algorithm are O of n, right? I mean, none of this will go less than O of n. Yeah, some like yes, binary finding searching in binary tree is less than O of n, but I mean all of this algorithm, all of graph and union find algorithm will at least have O of n complexity. So going through your inputs and find all, I mean find the number n is not a problem. Or you just simply, right, in this case we have done this, right, dealing size, but let's see if we see that we are given some constraint, right? It says that length is 1000 and similar word is, where is that? Similar word is 2000, right? Let's see if we do 2000, what will happen. So here I made a count this, right? I made 2000. So you can always ask a constraint to interior and then, just use that constraint. Right? So it doesn't make much difference. See, it is exactly kind of same.
That is slightly better.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. 484 and 40.
Really?
Slightly, yeah.
I sometimes feel these differences are just, if you run a number of times, you'll just get different numbers based on, I don't know,
yeah,
how
this
many
little bit
cores
different.
that they have available,
Yeah.
how many
I
parallel
mean,
threads, etc.
I believe that you can't simply rely on this. Okay.
Yeah.
The stats, it is there, but it is not always consistent. That is what I want.
Luckily, the statistics are not revealed to the interviewer.
Yes.
Yeah, but coming up to the stage is also enough, right? So at least passing through it.
Yeah. I think this is, yeah. I mean, I think that test case basically covers that, right? If you are not using probably union find with compression and all, some of this example that require union find, or you are using union find, for example, and if it is not a good implementation, then it will either go out of time or out of memory and anything. So you would know. So account merge is, this is the one, right? We are saying that, yeah, this is exactly same way actually. There is no difference in this. All right. Any other question? Or let me stop recording at least right now. I have some more question, but we will, take.